just finished putting together my bed, and here is all the waste that I left from IKEA. Here's the pile of clothes that I have because I don't have a closet yet, and here's the desk I set up yesterday. I'm sitting on my trash can because I don't actually own a chair yet, and it's almost midnight here. I think this is the latest I've ever stayed up in SF because, you know, I just got here last Tuesday and I'm still kind of going by East Coast hours, so just sleeping at 9, waking up at 6. I don't know, I just finished assembling a lot of furniture and I'm a bit tired. I don't really have internet yet, and just kind of like bored right now, honestly. Looking outside, I live in kind of like the financial district here in SF, so, you know, next to me are a bunch of like empty office buildings because it's Friday at midnight, so I don't know why anyone would still be in the office. But I kind of like that, honestly. It makes me alone in a way that makes me more comfortable with being alone, if that makes sense. I'm trying to move away from writing as a medium nowadays. It's not entirely authentic to myself anymore, so I'm trying to explore other mediums such as video. This is one that I haven't been able to do a lot over the past couple of years, so I think, you know, with any major life change, such as moving cities, I do want to get more into it. You know, just doing a lot of the kind of soft-spoken, sad content I used to do a lot in writing, but specifically through video, because I think I'm able to kind of be more inspired, turn more input out, so yeah, we'll see. I'm starting to think that moving to SF was not the greatest idea. It's one of those things where I was like so comfortable in New York. I had so many friends. My job was like reasonably satisfying. But I was like, to a certain extent, uncomfortable with that stagnation, just, you know, day in, day out, having very similar activities, doing the same job, hanging out with very similar people. I feel like at the time I wanted some change in my life, but now that I, you know, am living change in my life, it's not that it's not what I expected. It really is, but I don't think I like it as much as I thought I would. This image of myself right now, it's almost exactly what I thought it would be. You know, just living in a pretty high floor in a high rise, working at a hedge fund. You know, these are things that I kind of thought I wanted in the past, but now that I'm actually here, it doesn't feel great. It's not that I miss the life that I had before, but it's more that I just wish I didn't have this need to change things up. I wish that I was able to appreciate the life I had more. Whenever you have a good thing for too long, sometimes you kind of like forget why it was good in the first place, and so you can't really appreciate the goodness anymore. Like, that's just inevitable. That's just part of, like, you know, habituation, acclimation, parts that, you know, make humans human. Yeah, this change seems pretty drastic, if I'm being honest. It's really jarring going from a place where I had a lot of friends, where I was able to have social events basically every weekend at least, most of the week as well, to just knowing no one at all. I feel like for the sake of growth, I left a lot behind. I left a lot of my friends behind. I left my job behind to go to this like new city where I'm so unfamiliar with everything. Like, I've never even been to San Francisco before, you know, this job. And I don't know. Like, all these images I had of the city, they weren't idealistic. It's exactly what I expected it to be, but somehow I thought I would be able to thrive in it a lot better than I currently am. Like, I knew I would be making a lot of content because I didn't know anyone and there wouldn't be that many things to do socially. But somehow I thought I would be more comfortable with it, that I wouldn't be just so discontented with just how things turned out. And part of me thinks that's just my core drive. It's like what propels me forward. It's the reason that I've been able to kind of achieve as much as I have. But I don't know, it's deeply unsatisfying. Like, whenever things go well, you want things to change. But whenever things aren't that good, you kind of wish things were well again. I don't know, it's like, I know I need to be unhappy in order to create the content that I want to create, the one that feels authentic to my artistic vision. But I always want it in retrospect. I never want to be in the state to create the content. I am only just, I just want to be glad that it exists, that I did it at one point, not actually in the state of creating it itself. I think it's just, a core paradox that's kind of unfortunate for my artistic pursuits.